Hey guys, it's Julia here, and as you guys can see, I have a Windows 10 VM. Now, what version of Windows 10 is this? Well, if I do a WinVer, you can see we're on version 1803, OS build 17134.1, which this VM's .1 because that's the ISO I had. However, back in the day, if you're going from 1803 to 1809, as you guys know, the first build of 1809 was build 17763.1. However, that update got pulled like less than a week after it was released, and that's because it had a very bad bug. Now, that very bad bug was a file deletion bug, where it would actually delete some people's files when they upgraded. So, essentially, this update was kind of botched. Now, what happens though after the update was pulled? Like, what about the people that still had this ISO? Well, let me actually show you guys something interesting first. So, if I connect the internet on this virtual machine, and I run the setup for 1809. This is the .1 ISO, by the way. This is not the, fixed version. So I'm actually going to let it download updates, I think. Or actually, no, I'm not going to let it download updates. I want to see if it actually works. I want to see if it gives that message. Because there's supposed to be a message it's supposed to give that pretty much tells you, like, hey, you can't upgrade because this ISO is out of date. So let's see if it does it, which I think it will, and yep, it does. So what needs your attention? And it says, Windows 10 setup 1809, build 17763.1. This version is not current. For more info, go to this, which I don't know if this still works or not, if I can still go to that or not. However, basically, it doesn't let you upgrade. So if you change what to keep and click nothing, it will let you through. However, I'm not going to do that in this case. So I'm going to now prep the VM a little bit more and move some files around, and also obviously delete our Windows BT folder. But the way I'm going to get it to upgrade is I'm just simply going to, disconnect the internet, because it can't contact Microsoft or anything like that to be able to tell that this is an out-of-date ISO. So without further ado, I'm going to do that, and I'll come back later when I'm ready to actually upgrade this. Today I have this VM, which I've been trying to do an interesting experiment on for you guys, which is if you upgrade to a Windows 10 version of 17763.1, which is 1809 initial release in early October, it would actually have a risk of deleting your files. And I've been trying to pull this off, but it seems like it's extremely difficult to pull off in the demo. But I have files in two different locations. So there's documents here, oh, this will be gone, stuff like that, random downloads I copied, random Windows remixes here, we have some random pictures, a random video of a funny thing of me running one of my scripts, and then I go to here, to D, linked, and we have more random documents, random downloads, music, pictures, and videos, and a lot more. There's a lot more in the linked location than there is in the original location, because obviously the linked location is the new location, and maybe the user forgot to move the files over, which it does ask you when you go to link them, do you want to move the files from the old location to the new one, but I selected no. So it didn't actually move anything. So, in this scenario, we're going to try to upgrade. Now, basically, if you try to upgrade this and it's on the internet, it will not let you, which I'll show that clip later, but I'm going to hit not right now. I'm going to click next, and we're going to just upgrade this VM, because why not, right? What can go wrong trying to do this, like, actually? Okay, so we're back at the license agreement. I'm going to click accept, and as you see it says, making sure you're ready to install, making sure your PC has enough space, and now we have ready to install, which is install Windows 10 Pro and keep personal files and apps, or not because, the bug. But let's click install, and let's just let this install. Now, I don't know if the bug's gonna occur this time or not, because I feel like it doesn't always happen. I have had it happen in this VM once, but I can't seem to reproduce it, so hopefully I can actually reproduce it, because I think it's not guaranteed to happen every time, but it's a chance. So, anywho, without further ado, let's let this run. Okay, so this VM is done upgrading. Did we actually lose any files this time? I actually hope so, because I've been trying to replicate this for so long. So, what the heck just happened there? I don't know. Users... Oh, it's just loading everything. So, oh my god, it worked. There is no files in the documents folder. Downloads, there's no files. No way, this freaking worked. Music, nope, no data. Pictures, nah, you got none. Videos, you got none. They're all gone. And if I go to linked, as you see, those are still here. It didn't delete our linked stuff, but it did delete the stuff that was in our user folder. And you can actually see all the dates were modified today. So it like deleted everything, and you saw that I actually had the files before I upgraded this, and now I don't anymore. So I was able to successfully replicate it this time. It's weird. It doesn't always occur, it seems, but essentially how the bug works, right, with our files being gone, is that if you have linked folders, so you can see I have a linked folders to another drive. It could be to another drive. It could be because you have OneDrive installed and OneDrive creates links to itself and it doesn't rely on the original location. And apparently if you have a linked folder and you still have files in the previous original location, which is your user folder, and then the documents, downloads, whatever, then somehow when you're upgrading, I guess it doesn't migrate properly and it just forgoes all of those files and deletes them. Now, something I've not been able to confirm, which we'll see right now, it does make a Windows.old because, you know, in the event you want to roll back to the previous build saying you lost your files, I want to roll back and see if I can get my data. Can you actually get your data back? So if I go here, nope, you can't, because it does not have your data in this Windows.old. So even if you did revert back to the previous build, your data's gone. Like, it's not in the Windows.old folder because it moves the data. It doesn't actually keep it in this location, because really Windows.old just keeps like your Windows installation, your program files. So if you did roll back, it would just go back to 1803 and whatever programs you had installed on 1803, because if you install anything on 1809, it would be gone if you did that. But so guys, I've been testing this for a few days now and several hours off camera because I wanted to debunk this a bit more, so that way I could give you guys a bit more information about this bug. So I didn't realize this at first, but when I was upgrading to the .1 ISO and I had the user folder open, you can actually watch mid-upgrade as the folders just disappear entirely out of the folder. And that just proved that it actually deletes the files before it reboots when it's at a certain percentage. And this next clip I'm going to show you guys is actually me when I first noticed it, because I did actually catch my reaction as I didn't notice it on that other clip because I kind of just left it rolling. And a new user folder is created. Oh! It's gone! It'll be new OS. Did it move them? Nope, they're gone already. They're gone already. Nope. It deletes them before it reboots. And also, even if you do roll back to the previous build, you guys will notice something, which is the folders will still be gone. But guess what? The files are not going to be back. In fact, the folders are gone! What?! That just shows it just makes new ones and deletes the old ones, so then when you restore back, it doesn't have them anymore. But here's where it gets even weirder. So as you guys know, Microsoft re-released 1809 in November 2018, and I had the newer ISO, which was 17763.107. And I decided, why don't I upgrade with that? Because I knew, like, hey, this doesn't have the bug, right? Like, what difference does it do during upgrade with the user folder? Does it disappear? Does it stay? what does it do? Because I wanted to know to be able to confirm this more and how they fixed it. So essentially, I was upgrading it, and what do you know? All the files disappear again. And I'm over here like, huh? Like, surely it moved to new OS, right? Well, I checked new OS, and nothing. I could not find them. They were just empty folders. I checked other locations trying to find them and see where it went, and I was like, these files had to have went somewhere. There's no way it deleted them. And I searched everywhere, but of course it rebooted to finish the upgrade. And after the upgrade, I decided to record my reaction if the files were gone or not. Okay, I have to record my reaction to this, guys. So we're now on .107. This is not a .1 ISO. And when it was upgrading, I saw the files disappear, and I could not find them. And now I'm wondering if they're here or not, because this should be fixed. I'm starting to wonder if it's the setup itself, not the dot number. Because, I don't know, if the files are here, then where the hell did it migrate them during setup? Wait, they're gone! What? What? Okay, I'm so confused. They're gone again. And this was .107, not .1, and it deleted the files. What? What? Hold up, there's no freaking way. Because this says October 29th, 2018. However, it is still 17763.1. So I wonder if the problem is the setup, not the actual win. Because I just replicated the file deletion bug again when I wasn't even trying to. I was trying to make it keep the files, and it just deleted them again. I am so confused. Did it delete the linked location? Probably not. No, it did not delete the linked location, because it only affects the original location. What the hell? This is gonna be an interesting video. Like, surely, right? Because the files are gone. And I doubt Windows.old has them, because why would it? Yeah, no, it does not. Okay, well that's that. So after that happened, I was even more confused, and I decided to try this theory, which is leave the internet connected during the upgrade this time, and see if it deletes the files, which I did use the .107 again, and I left it connected this time. I did notice that I got through the setup way quicker, as if I didn't have internet, it would always be stuck on checking your PC for way longer than normal, and I don't know why that is, because I feel like it would be slower if there was internet, but it's actually the opposite effect. But anywho, once I connected it to the internet and did this, I didn't notice the files disappear, and afterwards I actually checked, and it didn't delete anything that time. And as a sanity check, I actually did later try it again with and without internet several times, and it only happened when there wasn't an internet connection. So maybe setup is downloading something, although I checked all the setup versions and everything with and without internet connection. They are entirely the same. So I'm not entirely sure what's going on here. So I decided to in-place upgrade 1803 again because I know it doesn't have the bug, and I wanted to see the behavior of what it does with the files, which, obviously to my surprise, it didn't touch the files, it didn't even move them to new OS, in fact not even the user folder was moved to new OS, so it pretty much just left everything the same, which is actually the behavior of when I have 1809 connected to the internet and it upgrades successfully without deleting anything, so it seems when it's not connected on 1809, it just deletes the files and makes an entire user in new OS, and it's just really strange, to say the least. Now at this point, I got really curious, so I got a very up-to-date 1809 ISO, and I decided to upgrade it to that, and you guys will hear my reaction to what happened next. There's no way that this would do it. What? Did it just... No. Nah, bro. Nah, bro. There's... You didn't. I don't have any words right now for what I'm seeing. I'm screenshotting this. Is this using .1? Okay, maybe that's why. .1, but this one's .345. .1. What? What? Did it actually? I'm speechless. I cannot find the files on the system. What the actual hell? Okay, I'm done. Okay, why do the folders have no icon and they're empty? What? Okay, this is interesting. So, this time when it upgraded, the icons are missing. Probably because it's updated to a much newer dot number, because I used a more up-to-date ISO I found. But, what? I'm a bit freaked out by this. This is just weird. Also, our link's location is obviously not affected whatsoever. But, as I said, this location is, and the icons are actually missing. It's so weird. Like, what? I'm gonna try 1903. So then I decided to do an in-place upgrade to version 1903, because obviously 1903 would have all this fixed, and I wanted to see how it did the folders differently, and how it would actually fix the issue. And as you guys will see, coming up in this clip, it actually makes sim links to the folders, and you can see me like opening them, but then it shortly disappears after that, which is really strange. And the upgrade continues, and obviously after the upgrade I check, and obviously it's 1903, so it didn't have the problem either. But I find it interesting how it actually did the links. Like, I'd never seen that before, and I guess it's kind of interesting to see the process of an upgrade. So yeah, this bug is quite interesting, and this was just another run of me doing the .107 and it deleting the files again while I talk about this. However, there were some other things I definitely wanted to mention that I have noticed about this upgrade, which, believe it or not, I had someone else try it, and they told it to migrate the folders when they linked them, so it actually moved the folders out of the normal user folder, and the .1 ISO would actually let them upgrade even with internet connection. And I believe that's because the documents folder and all those folders didn't actually exist in the user folder because it, moved them when you did the link. So it probably checks to see if those folders are there, and if they are, it blocks the upgrades. So I found that kind of interesting, that it actually verifies that, and if it, meets that, then it says, okay, you can't proceed, but if you don't have files there, it'll let you proceed because obviously it won't delete anything. The other thing I'll also mention is that if they actually created files after getting past that, it would delete them as well. So like if they made a documents folder and they put stuff in it, it would go ahead and delete it, which, is obvious because of the bug, and that's even with an internet connection with .1. So it seems like the .1 ISO, whether you have internet or not, will always delete the files. Meanwhile, if you have like a .107 and all those other ones, if you're disconnected from the internet, it will, but if you're connected, it won't. If you guys want to try more experiments and try and figure this out as to why it does this, feel free. I've done enough experiments and I kind of just wanted to stop here, tell my findings and let you guys maybe try it if you guys, have virtual machines and want to test this out. Obviously, don't put any important files that you don't have backups of because yes, it will delete the files. The other thing I also want to mention real briefly before I end this video was quite interesting. So I did another run where I actually tried going into the new OS folder while it was upgrading, and it kind of kicked me out, and it seemed like it didn't do the first 30% within Windows, and it rebooted a lot quicker and then did it. And surprisingly, it didn't actually delete the files when it did that. So I kind of bypassed it from deleting my files because I was, trying to access the folders, and it really didn't like that, and it just said, nope, you're not doing that. So I guess that's like a workaround, like if it doesn't do the first 30% early on, which I know Microsoft added in like some update. I think it was like version 1709 that started doing that, but the bug must lie in there somewhere, except only version 1809 was affected by this as far as I know. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of this bug and all the interesting findings that I found, and if you guys find anything, feel free to leave a comment down below, because this was very interesting to test. Anyways, yeah, that is going to do it for the file deletion bug. It was a lot of experimenting, and at first I actually couldn't pull it off in the very beginning of this video, but fun fact, after that, I probably pulled it off like 15 to 20 times in testing, and I didn't even show every attempt in this video. I only showed some of them because some of them were just repeats, because I needed a sanity check, and originally, I actually wanted to do this video, however, I didn't understand the bug correctly, and I didn't realize that it doesn't delete files in the new linked location, but it actually deletes files in the original location, and I didn't know that back then, and when I actually tried to pull it off, it just wasn't doing it the first few times for me, and then somehow, some way, I do it again, and it just starts doing it like every single time. It's really strange, and it seems like the bug occurs about 90 to 95% of the time, and then there's like that 5 to 10% chance that the bug does not occur. So pretty much, bottom line, do not upgrade to 1809, especially if you're disconnected from the internet, no matter what ISO you have, especially if you have linked folders, because if you have linked folders, you might lose files in the original location if you didn't move them. So I actually did try another ISO that was like .3 something, and it even had the same issue with deleting files. So yeah, all of them do it. But honestly, with how this bug works and what I've seen, my theory is that it treats the actual user folders as part of the installation process, and it deletes the old ones to make new ones, especially since a rollback actually does delete the new folders it creates. It just seems like it's treating it like it's part of the operating system. But yeah, anywho, that'll do it for this video. Thanks for watching. Also thanks to all my channel members, which are Samir Yoshizawa, Christian1739, Overgreen, Shottic Gate, Ziggyos, DJ1I28, Dencorn, Cyclone, Akahusky WX, Mike Rhea, Chris Garrett, Zax Tech Place, Gazelle Edge, Siwan LEL, Rambos1234, Railroad Buff, Electronic Search 3.0, Aqua95, also Marcus, Tyler, along with everyone else here on this list. I really appreciate your guys' support for being channel members. It really means a lot to me, and I get to make a lot of amazing videos, and I really appreciate the support. So once again, thank you guys so much. I do appreciate it. Anyways, guys, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I have some new videos coming up soon. I know this video took a lot of attempts, so I'm kind of a little bit late uploading it. However, I really did enjoy making it. So anyways, thanks for watching. Bye-bye for now.